answer, please.
Yeah.
These are the live audience.
God of all
Oh
creation,
God of all creation, grant this our one request.
help
Help
us
us
to
to
build
build
a
a
nation
nation
where
where
no
no
man
man
is
is
oppressed,
oppressed, and
and
so
with peace
peace
and
and
plenty, Nigeria
Nigeria
be blessed.
blessed. Thank you, fellow. Thank you for setting us in the right direction. I will expect you to kindly be muted now as we move to the next phase of this KSS, which will be taken by a fellow. We'll kindly request Madam Bukola Thomas, FCIPM, to lead us in taking the code of conduct. Thank you, Madam.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this session. I will ask that you repeat after me. One, if you are a member of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. So this code of conduct is being taken by strictly members, and I would ask that you go and read it as I go. I know it's Zoom call, so it's going to be a bit disorderly if we all unmute. But please, when we get to the place where you see where I say please indicate and put your own name, as I will be putting my own name and my grade. Thank you. So the CIPM Code of Conduct. The Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria.
The
Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria.
As the apex regulatory body for human resource management practice in Nigeria.
The apex regulatory body for
human resource management practice
in Nigeria.
Is committed to the highest possible standards of professional conduct.
Is committed
to the highest possible standards of professional conduct
and competency among its members.
Competency
among its members.
Therefore, as a member of the Institute,
Therefore, as a member of the Institute,
I, Bukola Thomas, FCIPM, pledge that I shall at all times carry out my duties and responsibilities with integrity and diligence.
Carry out my responsibilities with integrity and diligence.
Demonstrate competence and ethical behavior in all my business, professional, and personal activities.
Demonstrate competency and ethical behavior in all my business, professional, and personal activities.
Respect the laws of the land.
Respect the law of the land.
Promote, encourage, and emplace acceptable processes and procedures.
Encourage, and acceptable processes and procedures.
In the practice of human resource management within my sphere of influence.
In the practice of human resource management within my sphere of influence.
Endeavor to make personal decisions after considering all options.
Endeavor to make personal decisions after considering all options.
Of which resignation may be one in defense of this code of conduct.
Of which resignation may be one in defense of this code of conduct.
Where there are conflicts between my professional obligations and the expectations of my job roles.
where
there
there are
there are
conflicts
conflicts
between
between
my
my
professional
professional
obligations
obligations and the
and the
expectations of my
expectations of my job roles.
So help me God.
So help me
So
God.
help me God.
Amen.
Thank you, Madam Bukola Thomas, FCIPN. Thank you for taking us through the code of conduct. So we would immediately move and invite the chairman of Lekki Aja Badore chapter, Mr. Oluwapelumi, to set the ball rolling for today and set the tones and also establish all the protocols. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We are super excited to have you join us for our key essence for the month of April 2026. And once again, I welcome you to a new month, the month of April. I would like to especially recognize some people. Of course, we all are very important. We are all special, but we must give honor to whom honor is due. We have on the call two of our elected council members. One of them is currently our facilitator for today, right? In person of Adeyemi Ajayi, FCIPM. We also have on the call Dr. Michael Ogu, FCIPM elected council member. And we have quite a number of fellows on the call. Our very own IPC, Ariola, we are so honored to have you. I also saw one of our other fellows, Solomon Adebusin, FCIPM. We recognize your presence in our midst and we appreciate you for joining us. Also, we have on the call the chairman for Ojo Badagry chapter of CIPM, David Dada. My chairman, we recognize you as well. Thank you for making out time to join us. For everyone who have joined, both members of Lab chapter and also non-members yet, we want to especially welcome you to this honorable session. And I would also like to appreciate our sponsors, Certification Edge. On the call, we have their representative, Indika Chukuma, who would also be talking to us, sharing a few things to us from Certification Edge. And just before we go into the session proper, I'm sure you must have seen the flyer. And the topic for today is the Agile Workforce Blueprint, skills, mindset, and culture for modern organizations. And you will agree with me that in today's rapidly evolving world of work, organizations are no longer competing solely on products or on services alone. They are now competing on adaptability. In other words, the ability to respond swiftly to changes, the ability to innovate continuously and to also empower people to thrive in uncertainty. This has become a defining advantage of successful organizations. So we are going to be learning about the Agile Workforce Blueprint today. And we are so honored to have an elected council member, Adeyemi Ajayi, a fellow, be taking us through this session. We were so excited to have him last year, and we said, no, this year he must come back to continue the good work he has started with us. So please ensure that you engage the session, ensure that you also fill out the attendance form. And for those who would like to join Lab Chapter, please contact us after the session. We are very much open to have you as our member. So thank you very much and have an amazing learning session. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you very much, Chairman Oluwapelumi Akionla, ACIPN. Without any further ado, it's not April Fool. the fellow is here, but to introduce the fellow, I'll kindly just request our ex-officio female Chinasa quiz winner to do us the honor of introducing the topic for today and then the juggernaut himself. Thank you. Chinasa.
Thank you, Dr. Peter. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you can all hear me.
We can hear you, Chinasa.
Okay, thank you. Welcome once again to today's session. So my name is Chinasa Onibo, and I'll be introducing our esteemed guest speaker, Ajayi Adeyemi Akinfemi, FCIPM. Adeyemi Ajayi is a distinguished and results-driven strategic business leader and human resource professional with progressive experience across multiple sectors, including professional services and consulting, financial services, logistics, digital solutions, manufacturing, fast-moving consumer goods, and healthcare. His career is marked by a consistent track record of driving transformational change, optimizing human capital performance, and aligning people's strategies with organizational goals. As an astute human resource thought leader, Yemi brings a deep understanding of the business landscape and combines it with strong people leadership skills. His expertise spans organizational strategy, leadership development, performance and talent management, employee engagement, HR operations, compliance, risk management, learning and development, change management, and total rewards administration. He is particularly adept at building inclusive cultures that drive innovation, productivity, and a high-performance workforce. In his current role as head of human resources in one of the multinational medical diagnosis company in Nigeria, Yemi leads strategic HR functions that support operational excellence, service delivery in the health sector. He oversees initiatives that enhance employee experience, ensure regulatory compliance, and align HR practices with international standards and business objectives. Yemi is also a recognized thought leader and advocate for the innovation in human resource management and leadership. He serves as an elected council member on the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, CIPM, where he currently chairs the Innovation and Digital Transformation Committee. In this capacity, he plays a pivotal role in digital transformation and innovation while shaping the future of people management practice in Nigeria. A lifelong learner and committed professional, Yemi holds multiple certifications and fellowships from prestigious institutions, including a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, a chartered fellow of the Institute of Personnel Development, FCIPD UK, a senior professional in Human Resources International, HRCI USA, a fellow of the Nigeria Institute of Training and Development, a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants, and a member of the Institute of People Management Professionals, SA. His passion for people development, ethical leadership, and organizational growth is evident in the initiatives he leads, the team he develops, and the culture he fosters. Yemi is known for his collaborative leadership style, analytical thinking, and ability to translate business challenges into actionable people management strategies that deliver value. Outside of his professional commitments, Yemi is a strong advocate for mentoring and community development. He enjoys working with teams, organizing professional events, and contributing to the broader HR community. He is happily married and takes pride in nurturing a balanced and fulfilling family life. Please, can we give a virtual round of applause for our esteemed guest speaker Ajayi Adeyemi Akinfemi, FCIPM. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Chinas. Thank you so very much, everyone. Okay, thanks for having me, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Because of our time, we'll roll quite very fast. I do not take this for granted. Our topic has been introduced, so we move on quickly. With our session, permits me to appreciate the President and Chairman of Governing Council of CIPM, Madam Ahmed Ladan Gobir, FCIPM, the Vice President and the Vice Chairman of Governing Council, Mrs. Chidima Justina Obejisi, FCIPM, the National Treasurer, Mrs. Ogochukwu Ebonu, FCIPM, the Registrar CE, Ms. Oluwatoyin Naiwo, FCIPM, Chartered FCIPD, the immediate past President, Mr. Olusegun Taufik Olawale, FCIPM or JADE, FCIPM, FNNI, the elected council members on this call. Permit me to mention especially Dr. Michael Ogu, MCIPM, the chairman for the Communication and Brands Committee of the Institute, the members of the governing council on this call, fellows and members of the board of fellows, the chairman CIPM Lagos State branch, Mrs. Adenike Adeyelu, FCIPM, and chairperson of other branches that may be here, the chairman Leke Ajabadore chapter, Oluwapelumi Akinola, ACIPM, and other members of the executive committee, members of CIPM branches and other chapters that are here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Please let me appreciate Dr. Michael Ogu, Mrs. Abibola Alade, and Mr. Damilola Raji, who have contributed to my presentation this afternoon. Like you had in my profile, I do not work alone. I work in teams, and I mentor quite a lot of people, and I give opportunity to my my mentees to be part of every work that I do. I am here because of the grace factor, the God factor in my life, and I'm a product of divine grace. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Our itinerary, our agenda for today, briefly, will look in this format, but we'll try and see what we can cover within the short time that we have. We have about 99 persons on this call already right now. I'm sure we're going to max out. I'm hoping that we are streaming on YouTube in case others are not able to join, since we have maxed out. And as I was speaking, we hit 100 persons on this call right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the agile workforce, what do we mean by an agile workforce? That is a workforce that is very strategic, that is very adaptive, and very, very resilient. A team that is structured to be able to thrive in the midst of uncertainty, where things are rapidly changing. A team that can respond rapidly to the changing market conditions as we see around us. We usually say that we are in a VUCA world, but I had the D to say we are in a VUCA D world. And we are talking about a team that has very strong technological advancement, and they are able to adapt and meet customer needs, proactively. A agile workforce is one that is adaptive. They are quite responsive. They are not rigid. They are very, very dynamic, and they can quickly pivot by responding to both internal and external changes at any point in time. Agile teams have some things that are very unique. One of it is that they have a very decentralized decision making. That says decision making is not at a center point. It's not only at the top or at the edge. Every leader across the various strata, across the various levels, are able to take decisions because they are empowered. Agile teams have cross-functional collaboration. Nobody is working in silos. They work together on projects. Mainly, they work on different projects, and things are changing. They come together from various functions: finance, HR, marketing, sales, operations, to be able to, foster solutions to problems. They have a culture of continuous learning. They are lifelong learners. They turn every opportunity where errors are made into learning and, of course, to develop. And they have a growth mindset. They are not fixed in their thinking. They are looking at how the future is changing, and they are evolving with the changes that are happening within the environment that they find themselves. Why is it that agility matters in the modern organizations that we find ourselves? One of these reasons is that Technology is rapidly changing and it is disrupting everything that we find around us. AI, like we talk about these days, is changing things. Proud to now will say that AI will not take your job. But I'm sorry to announce to you, and this is not April Fool, that AI is taking people's jobs. Not just people that are using the AI, but AI itself is taking people's job because people are losing their job. Just yesterday, Microsoft, with a very strong and very large HR team, they were able to prune down the entire HR team considerably because of what AI is doing. It is important that we, have agility because of the global competition. The world has opened. A product in Nigeria is no longer contesting or competing with the Nigerian market alone, but is competing with the global market. Evolving customer expectations, customer needs are changing, customer rotations are changing. As taste is changing, lifestyle is changing, the needs of the customers are also changing. We have the major issue of hybrid and remote work realities. That is our new world of work. Since COVID, we now find out that people no longer just want to sit in the brick and mortar offices, but they want to be able to work flexibly, sit down on a tree, sit down at the beach, sit down in their car in the kitchen, and be able to provide work for jobs that can be done, in the hybrid formats. I acknowledge the fact that it is not every job that can be done, remotely. But for those jobs that can be done remotely, you find out that yes, this is the reality of our time that we find ourselves. I just think there is shorter innovation cycle. These days, the time to innovate is very, very, very short because while you are still developing your product, other products are already coming up and your products are already becoming obsolete. In time past, iPhone will take about 2 to 3 years before the new iPhone comes out. But now the same thing with Samsung. But as you can see now, it's barely 9 months to 12 months that we are having new products, new versions of products coming, into the market. And if you are not agile enough to turn on your innovation in a shorter timeline, you will become obsolete. So to stay competitive, companies must build people systems that are as adaptive as their strategies. As your strategy is changing, your system too your people system must be quite adaptive. Now, why is it that the workforce agility matters at this time? Why does workforce agility matter at this time? Number one, it's that it leads to improved business performance and survival. If our workforce is agile, performance will improve, business will be better, and will be able to survive, better, and not just survive, but thrive in a highly competitive, market. We'll witness increased innovation and creativity. 30% higher rate of successful innovation is assured with a agile workforce. Cost efficiency and optimization. Organizations can achieve between 20 to 30 cost reduction because your people, an agile workforce, is able to think on how to reduce costs and how to optimize resources, how to achieve more with little, leaning on the lean principle. Rapid technological adaptation, especially at the advent of AI. An agile workforce will be able to leverage AI to become more efficient and more effective. We'll be able to attract talent and be able to retain talent better if we have a very agile workforce, especially an agile leadership. Organizations with high agility, they report 60% of lower voluntary turnover because when the leadership is very agile, they are able to creatively innovate and ensure that the workforce is carried along. And this will ensure that retention improves and talent can stay with the organization. Agility in the workforce will help us to enhance our customer experience because we are constantly thinking about the customers and we are constantly being able to churn out products and services that can meet the needs of our customers. Now, talking about agility, there are theoretical foundations to workforce agility. I'll quickly take us through about 4 of such theoretical foundations. The first one I would like to talk about is the Agile theory, which was the main first theory itself, according to the Agile Manifesto of 2001. And this is based on the Agile software development. This theory has a philosophy that focuses on flexibility, collaboration, continuous learning, and rapid value delivery in every environment that is complex, uncertain, and it is changing very, very, very fast. What do we mean by this? We are saying that where there is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, the Agile philosophy enables us to become very flexible, being able to change our strategy and our effort to galvanize all of this towards continuous learning, and we're able to deliver value faster within this environment. The core principles of this particular agile workforce theory is that number one, individuals and interactions over rigid structures. We jettison our rigid structures that focuses only on policy. What does your policy say? And we begin to embrace individual interactions such that people can move out of their own comfort zone and be able to interact with other departments and other functions, be able to deliver. We respond to change over following fixed plans. That is, yes, we have a budget, we have a plan for the year. However, agility enables us, this theory enables us to make sure that as things are changing within our ecosystem, we are rapidly changing as well. And we are tweaking things and adjusting and adapting to the changes so that we can continuously thrive and survive. It is a culture of continuous improvement. That is, what is good today can always become better, because the only room that we have is the room for improvement, and that room is big enough. Iterative learning and development, where learning is taken in small bits, where mistakes and errors are taken as learning opportunities for growth and development. The second framework that I would like to introduce to us is the VUCA framework. And don't mind me, I've added D because beyond the volatility, beyond the uncertainty, beyond the complexity, and beyond the ambiguity is that things are being disrupted. So disruption is all around us. Okay, this framework explains why agility is not a critical workforce capability. Your workforce must develop the capability around agility. And the first thing here is volatility, and of course, uncertainty. Things are in a flux, and things are changing in a very, very dynamic and very fast pace. Things are becoming more uncertain. Your 5 years plan is no longer tenable. A long time now has become 2 to 3 years. Our short time now is now 6 months. And things are becoming uncertain because the prices of things could change while you are still sitting down there. In a space of 3 months, in a space of 3 weeks, just because of the war that is happening in the Middle East, Israel, America, and Iran, prices of oil in the global market is being affected rapidly. And Nigeria is taking the hit for that. While the government is benefiting from higher and improved revenue, the citizens are crying because the cost of production of oil at the pump price of oil is going up. There's a lot of complexity in managing things. And of course, the ambiguous nature of things leaves room for us to keep wondering, how do we navigate this whole system? And to layer on top of this is the disruption that is happening within our ecosystem. But I'm sorry to announce to you that we have moved away from the VUCA world. We are now in the Bani world. In the Bani world, things are breathable. And the futuristic James Cassio, it describes this current chaotic world as breathable, as anxious, non-linear, and incomprehensible. Now, let's look at each of these words. A brittle system looks strong. When a system looks strong, but it can suddenly fail. That is what we are dealing with right now. It's not just volatile. Why we think the system is strong enough, that the chain is strong enough, things can just change and things could just break. There's a lot of anxiety around us. Constant uncertainty is creating a lot of stress and overload because people are constantly overworked. They are thinking more and working harder because things are constantly becoming uncertain. And of course, it is non-linear. The cause and effect are disproportionate and unpredictable. You cannot say that because if X is equals to 2, then Y will always be equals to 2. No, we can no longer say that. It's no longer linear, it's no longer straight. Now it is if, given that in the event that other things being equal, you don't have to qualify things because things are non-linear again. And of course, things are becoming more incomprehensible. Outcomes are hard to explain or to foresee. We cannot easily foresee the future again. And you cannot easily predict the outcome because a lot of things, a lot of factors could come in that could change your model at any point in time. This is the Bani world that we now find ourselves as, stemming, moving away from the VUCA world. And this is very, very crucial for workforce agility. Now, how do we respond, to the Bani world with agility? How do we respond to the Bani world with agility? Number one, for breathable, we need to respond with resilience and modularity. This is agility at work. What do we mean by that? Bani says that the system breaks suddenly, But Agile responds with small modular work units, cross-skilling, decentralized decision-making, and rapid recovery rather than forced robustness. When things become so anxious, we respond with psychological safety and clarity. That is agility at work. Banning will align the chronic uncertainty and the stress, but agility will counter this through short feedback loops, through visible progress, through regular checks in, and of course, retrospective, thinking retroactively, and of course, a clear priority for each of the iteration. How do we respond to the non-linearity that we see ourselves, facing? Experimentation and iteration. That is agility at motion, at work. We experiment and we iterate until we get it right. Banning will show us small actions that can have massive unexpected effects. But agility will help us to respond by running experiments, testing assumptions early, learning very quickly from it, and avoiding oversized bets around us. And of course, how do we address the incomprehensible nature of things? It is by responding with Agile, by making sense through feedback. We said that feedback is the food of champions. Okay, Barney will note the outcomes often defy logic, and we are not able to predict it. However, to address this, agility will help us with continuous inspection and adaptation. As we inspect things as they're happening, we adapt, we adjust the sail. Okay, data, we use data and feedback from real users. Data is now the new life, is the new water that we make use of. And of course, we use retrospectives to surface all our insights. And this will help us to be able to overcome the Barney environment with agility. Now, for us as HR and people managers, what perspectives does this give us? Under Barney, currently, we have fixed roles. They become obsolete quickly. That's what we're dealing with. Your fixed roles are becoming very obsolete quickly. Clerical staffs, admin responsibilities, repetitive tasks, AI is taking them over. Linear career paths, they are breaking down. If your career path is just straight, now one single skill is not enough for you to be able to guarantee your employment. It's no longer a straight line. You need to have multiplicity of skills altogether. Under Barney, there's a lot of anxiety, which is increasing without meaning and stability. Everybody is anxious. What is going on around us? What's going to happen next? Everything is in a state of confusion. But agility will help us to respond with skill-based talent models. HR people, we need to respond with skill-based talent models, not just recruitment for recruitment's sake, not just for the job description, but looking at the multiplicity of skills that every talent that we bring into our workforce will have. Continuous performance conversations is not enough for us to wait for 6 months or 1 year to have our appraisal cycle. Now we are dealing with continuous performance evaluation, learning agility as a core competency, short planning cycles, value-driven leadership. All of these are very, very important perspective for us as people managers. Now, let's quickly look at the learning organization theory by Peter Schengen. The learning organizational theory says that an agile workforce must consistently learn, we must unlearn, and we must relearn. This supports continuous adaptation and innovation. Some of us, we pride ourselves as community of shameless learners. Yes, because when you stop learning, you start to die. Because of my time, sorry, I'm rushing because I prepared for 50 minutes, but I've just got 30 minutes to deliver this. So please don't mind if I'm rushing. You'll get a meet of this at a bigger masterclass. The last one I'll talk about is the growth mindset. The growth mindset says that growth enables employees to embrace learning, for them to be able to experiment, and for ongoing development in an agile environment. Resilience in the workforce helps employees to adapt to changes and for them to recover quickly when there are setbacks within these dynamic work settings that we find ourselves. And feedback-oriented nature will enable employees to view feedback as a developmental tool, which will help them to foster continuous improvement and an environment of innovation. All of these 4 things that I've mentioned, they are our response, the theories underpinning the agile mindset and agile mentality. And these are very important. What are the core drivers of workforce agility? Number 1 is continuous learning. We must invest in learning, frequently acquiring new skills, and for us to stay current at all times. Number two, we have to be proactive and very resilient. What do I mean by this? Our employees must have the ability to anticipate change, that change will come. And in the midst of this change coming, they must maintain performance under pressure. We must have a collaborative culture, a culture that reaches out, that works with people, that moves away from silo mentality to teamwork. And we support this with digital tools, leveraging technology in order for us to facilitate sharing of information. And lastly is empowerment and autonomy. We must be able to distribute decision making across various leadership layers within our organization so that we can be able to gain speed at appropriate towards responding to our work environment. What are the blueprints for a agile workforce? A successful transformation of an agile workforce rests on three major pillars, and these pillars are interconnected. The first of this pillar is, of course, skills, the ability for people to be able to do more, what people need to know and what they are able to do. The second pillar is mindset. By mindset, what do I mean? It is attitude, how people think and respond to changes. Didi Akman, please, can you stop annotating, please? Didi Akman, can you please stop annotating? Thank you. The third pillar here is culture. That is the environment, the ecosystem, the organization, the operating system that enables agility. Because it is not just about surviving the change, it's about thriving. How do we thrive in the time of change? Okay, agile teams, they will respond to challenges with speed and precision, and they'll be able to enable businesses to pivot. They will embrace opportunities and they'll be able to maintain a competitive edge for our business. And this is very, very critical. Now, let's look at the skills capability, looking at each of these pillars one by one. One is, number one, digital and data fluency for roles. We must be digitally fluent. We must be strong using digital skills, critical thinking and problem-solving skill. Every job function needs people who can think critically and solve problems. Communication and collaboration is very important. Putting ourselves in the shoes of other people to be able to understand their emotions and what triggers them is very important in terms of human skill. How are we learning and how are we adapting? Learning agility and adaptability is a very crucial skill that we must own as HR professionals. Project management and time management is very, very important. How do we project manage everything? We talked about collaborative teams. Agile teams are collaborative. They take every bit of activity in project and able to manage their time very well. We need to shift, of course, as mentioned earlier on, from a job-based system to a skill-based workforce planning, so that we are not just focusing on the job and the role, but the skills, multiplicity of skills that that talents bring to the table. And of course, very importantly, is emotional intelligence. All of these skills are very important. They are key pillars to agility. Agile organizations will always prioritize capability over static rules. It's about how capable are you? What are the things that you are able to do? Skills must be continuously developed. We must redeploy our skills and we must refresh our skills for us to remain relevant and agile. African digital skills gap. What do we have in Africa today? In our world today, we found out that only very small number of our tertiary institution graduates have very strong digital skills. We found out that there is urgent need for us, the public and private sector, to partner together in reskilling our population. Nigeria, we have 35 to 45% of our jobs that require digital skills. And that's why we must invest a lot in technology. And the digital economy is expected to expand significantly by 2030, as we can see the trend with AI, and this will continue. What does agile mindset mean to us? It's about how agile employees think. How do agile employees think? Number one, they believe that their abilities can improve through effort and through practice. They have a ownership and accountability mindset. They are customer-centric in their thinking. They are open to feedback. And of course, they experiment and they innovate. That's the kind of mindset that the agile team have. And they have a principle of continuous improvement, a culture of continuous improvement. They are always seeking to make things better, to make things simpler, and to make things smarter. And of course, they seek smarter ways, to get job done. Agility is principally about mindset. is not just about practice. In the words of Jim Highsmith, it's about, of course, the mindset and not just the things that we practice. The leadership mindset, this is another mindset for a agile workforce. A leadership mindset shifts, the mindset shift, it involves moving from doing mentality to enabling. An agile leadership are not the one that is executing, but they are enabling their people by building capacity, by building capability, by empowering their people so that they can focus more on fostering adaptability and leading with empathy rather than control. Leadership is about influence and not just about command and control. And from command and control, they move to coaching and enabling. That is what the agile leadership mindset is all about. From certainty to discovery, and from individual heroics to team outcomes. They foster team collaboration. In the words of McKinsey, mindset is the biggest barrier to agility. Therefore, we need to develop our mindset. Now, let's look at the third pillar, which is culture, the environment that is needed for workforce agility. The kind of culture that we should build to nourish agility in our workforce is a psychologically safe environment where people are free to speak up, they are free to ask questions. It must be a very flexible work structure where there is hybrid option, and of course, there's no fluidity. People can move, cross-functionally, and you can have teams, build together to work on projects. It's a culture that empowers employee and gives employee autonomy. Employees are trusted, they are able to make decisions without excessive hierarchy. Where there is transparent communication, information flows in an open manner, and leadership are able to share goals and share direction with employees. It is a culture that fosters a collaboration, where people work together and not in silos. And of course, where the reward system, they are for innovation. Innovation is rewarded accordingly. Incentives, they are aligned to experimentation and collaboration, and of course, agility. So I've talked about these three key pillars from the area of skill, the area of mindset, which is attitude, and of course, the culture. These are three critical pillars, for workforce agility. A McKinsey research, indicates that agile organization, they adopt AI, they prioritize employee well-being, and they foster cross-functional teams for them to drive value and productivity. They respond faster to changes in the market. They are the top, they stay at the top firm, quartile of performance financially. A successful agile transformation, they focus on their people first. So first is about their people. Culture change is harder than process change. You must understand this. It is easy for us to change our processes, but to change our culture is a hard work. And this is part of the outcome of the McKinsey report. Now, let's look at the workforce model, the operating model of an agile workforce as I begin to quickly wrap up. Number one is that you must have daily stand-ups for quick alignment. Every morning, you call your people in a stand-up meeting in 5-10 minutes. You are trying to align your goals and vision in line with what has changed from yesterday to today, so that everybody is carrying along. You have short work cycles, and you are able to have retrospectives for continuous improvement. You make use of your Kanban boards for visual workflow tracking, and of course, you build on your cross-functional squads, task forces, so that when things happen, you quickly build a team to quickly go and address it. This helps employees to stay focused. It helps them to remain coordinated and for them to continue to adapt to changing situations. Now, HR, we are the architect of agility. And how do we do this? Number one, in the area of talent, we need to hire for potential. We need to hire for learning agility and not just skills. We must cultivate agile learning and development with short modular on-demand training. Our performance management should no longer be, a biannual or an annual thing. We must embrace, continuous checking and encourage managers to check in on their people and provide real-time feedback to their people. Our career development, platforms, it should have a very fluid career path. Give people stretch assignments so that they remain motivated. And of course, let's encourage internal mobility, a marketplace where gig economy fosters. Our employees should have side hustles that we can support as organizations. Diversity and inclusion is very, very important, for us to be able to drive creativity and innovation. We as HR, we must be able to ensure that we are strategically planning our workforce through culture transformation, technology, and of course, digital and data-driven insights. Our agile HR methodologies are very, very important. We must enable internal mobility and talent marketplaces. People should be able to cross from one role to the other for as long as they're able to, develop the skill and capacity. We must design flexible, employee-centric system and embed a skill-based performance and reward system so that people are rewarded for their skills and for their performance. And we must develop adaptive and inclusive leaders. Our leaders must become very adaptive. How do we measure workforce agility? Number one, skills coverage and mobility rates. How many skills do we have within our organization? And are our people able to move? What is our time to productivity in new roles? When we bring people into new roles, how soon, how early are they able to become productive? When we bring in a new employee, how soon, how early are they able to return? Employee engagement and adaptivity indicators. Employee engagement, tells us how our people are productive and how they are emotionally connected to their job. Innovation and speed to market metrics is also very, very important. That is one of the critical metrics that we must measure. Now, let's look at collaboration tools, project boards, and learning platforms. These are, tools that we can lean on, technological tools that we can lean on in order to foster collaboration. All of this, we have Zoom, Teams, Slack, and so many of it, just to mention a few. Our learning experience platforms are also there for us to develop. And of course, let's make use of tools that are very, very important. These are examples of organizations that have been able to use agility, in order to be able to develop their systems and empower their workforce. Now, the journey to agility, what are the action points quickly as I wrap up? We must identify critical future skills. What are those skills that we need to leverage to be able to pivot our organization to the next level? Then launch a target reskilling pilot today. Revise your performance conversation and role model agile leadership behaviors in the organization. Agile leadership behaviors, we must shift from control to enablement. We must lead with purpose and clarity. We must embrace learning over certainty. We need to build psychological safety in our workplaces, and we must practice servant leadership so that we can enable fast and informed decision-making in our organizations. And we must focus on value and not just activity. And we must collaborate across boundaries. This is very, very important. No more working in silos. And we must maintain discipline with flexibility so that we don't look focused. And more importantly, we must model the value-based leadership. Our leaders, they must stand strong on their values. They must stand strong on our values because culture, we always eat breakfast for lunch and dinner. In conclusion, what the modern organizations need for us to win? What do modern organizations need for us to win? Number one, to stay competitive, organizations need agile skills, they need agile mindsets, and they need agile culture. This is about being adaptable, being digitally fluent, and of course, empowering our employees to be so. We must be growth-oriented and we must be innovative thinkers. We must have a culture of empowering our people, flexible culture, and a learning-driven environment because agility is no longer optional. It is a blueprint for future-ready organizations. Thank you very much for listening to me. If there are questions, I'll be able to take them. I'm sorry, I need to rush because of the time. Thank you very much. Over to you at the dot of my 30 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's put our virtual hands together for the fellow member of council. Let's give our appreciation to the man who everybody is looking for. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We would like to have your hands raised if you have a question. While you continue to do that, I will just tell you what I have learned. Agility, agile product is in a continuous flux. Wow. And that is moving from VUCA to BANI. I see it as moving from pan to fire. So if you are not agile, there is no way you can survive the disruption that is happening. Emphasis on psychological safety. In fact, this is very, very important. you have said it all, and I like that you also make mention of the need for us to learn, relearn, and also unlearn. I like the structure of those words. You didn't say unlearn, relearn, and learn. You say we have to learn, relearn, and unlearn. Even what we know now is not enough for the kind of disruption that we are anticipating. That is a very, very important statement. Mindset is the biggest barrier to agility. Wow. Wow. While the presentation was going on, I just quickly copied those characteristics that you must have in the current dispensation so that I can look at it as mirror to see how I have been able to fit into those characteristics. But beyond that, I have a question before Valentine comes on board. My question is the need for this agility a reason why there's rise in or there's increase in mental health issue? Or is it just because we have better methodology now in identifying mental health? So that's my question. You probably will hold that. Let's have the second question, and then you can kindly address this concern. Valentine, you can unmute yourself so we can hear your question. Thank you very much.
All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Peter and Mr. Ajayi. Do I call you professor right now? Because you just gave us a master class in 15 minutes, and it is huge. So first of all, I want to take your permission that I screenshotted some of the slides you shared. I want to share them with my downlines in the office. I also want to use it as a means of learning for them. And then if I have your permission to that, thank you so much. So secondly, my question is, how do you drive agility in the workplace as HR and it doesn't appear that you are missing the line? What I mean is in an over-familiar work environment, how do you drive agility? That's one question. My second question is, how do we not misplace agility for arrogance and pride? How do we not misplace agility for arrogance and pride? Putting a little context to it, if I'm in a work system where you have persons who pride themselves in 50 years of work experience, 100 years of work experience, and all the likes. So how do you not misplace agility for arrogance and pride in the workplace? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay.
So you can kindly take those two, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
let's take those two before we move on to that one. Please permit me to request Dr. Michael Ogu to provide answer and some context to the first question on mental health and agility, and of course how to drive agility in an over-familiar work environment. Dr. Michael Ogu, if you're online, please share some thoughts. I'd love to share some thoughts on these.
Thank you so much, ECM Adeyemi Ajayi, and fantastic presentation. I like the dimension around psychological trust and safety. Before I go into responding, let me just chip in that leaders who demonstrate psychological trust and safety have 4 major attributes, which I call have. Humility, authenticity, vulnerability, and empathy. You want to create a culture of psychological trust and safety. You must demonstrate humility, authenticity, vulnerability, and empathy. Now, let's come back to the mental health question, and I will answer experientially. I had the privilege of leading cultural transformation at Polaris Bank. For those of you aware, I led large-scale cultural transformation at Polaris Bank, 7,500 plus workforce. And one of the units in my verticals was employee well-being and wellness. And we had recurring issues around mental health, high blood pressure, and all of that. And I often say that culture starts with the tone at the top. As simple as giving a harsh remark, a snobbish remark, tearing people down, of course, that That is the prevalent culture in banks. And so one of the things that we did experientially was begin to do leadership coaching at the top. We had to start driving what we call positive exemplary discretionary behaviors, that leaders at every strata of the organization must be mindful of how they speak. Secondly, we began to drive an unspoken aspect of emotional intelligence we call emotional equanimity. What is emotional equanimity? It's the ability to stay calm and composed under pressure, under chaos, under stress. We began to train leaders around the concept of emotional equanimity. The third thing that we did was to not let employees understand that, hey, we had a safe space. And so we reenacted our whistleblowing mechanisms. And you'll be shocked that we had a lot of whistleblowing reports coming around, this in quotes, unpleasant behaviors of leaders. So leaders must be mindful of how they speak to people. I often say that, as simple as how you speak to someone, it's a reflection of how you treat other people. And we've often heard people say that you don't know a leader at the workplace. You really know a leader in those small places that don't matter. How do they treat their driver? How do they treat their house help? How do they treat people and talk to people beneath them? So one of the things we must consciously begin to drive is the behavioral aspect of leaders. How do leaders address people? How do leaders talk to people? How do leaders treat people? Do you treat someone beneath you who cannot do anything, who cannot fight back? And lastly, let's create a culture of non-retaliation. I believe if we put these things in place with the four traits of leaders I shared earlier on, agile leaders who are going to drive, safe spaces, humility, authenticity, vulnerability, and empathy, we should be able to deal with the mental health issues. Thank you so much, Isiema Adeyemi Ajayi, and the lab leadership for the opportunity to share my thoughts.
Thank you very much, Dr. Michael Ogu, MCIPM. So to answer the last question, he has touched already on the first and the second question. Misplacing agility for arrogance. Again, this is about empowerment. This is about open communication, having that environment where we start from the top. The leaders, they must lead the culture transformation. So for people not to think that you are arrogant because you are trying to drive agility, you must be able to communicate to them from a risk perspective. What are the risks if our workforce decide to leave us? What are the risks if people stop speaking just because they are afraid that you will pick on them? What are the risks if we start losing our customers because our products are not in tandem with changing dynamics, if we are not meeting the expectations of our customers? So if you speak from the risk perspective to the business, how we are going to lose money, how we may go into extinction, people will stop seeing it from arrogance, but they begin to see it from the point of view of value and the urgency that is required to build an agile workforce. I hope we're able to answer this question. Over to you, Peter.
Absolutely. Thank you, the juggernaut. Omolola, I believe your questions has been answered because it's similar to what has just been explained. And your question is, how can human resources balance workforce agility with psychological safety? I believe that has been answered. But if you think a good blow has not been dealt to this fellow, you could kindly just address it, sir.
Okay, that's I'm trying to look at Omolola's question.
How can HR balance workforce agility with psychological safety?
All right, so straight away is for HR to ensure that we open channels for feedback that people cannot identify. People should be able to have opportunities to be able to speak up. We must open safe spaces for them. Whistleblowing is very, very critical in organizations. And I always say, Your whistleblowing link should not reside within your organization. It should reside outside the organization such that nobody can cover up. And the outcome of every whistle that is blown should be communicated organization-wide so that it makes a statement that leadership is actually committed to a safe work environment, that leaders are providing safe spaces. Then we must learn to remove all those blockers that we put, all those fences that we put around our leaders, that, oh, leaders must use different lifts in going to their offices. Leaders must they must have a particular floor where they stay. We must delay all of those things, remove all of those fences so that everybody can see their leaders as a part of the team and not with some power distance. These are things that we need to do, practical things that we need to do for us to be able to promote a logical, safe environment. HR, we must collaborate with the CEOs of our organization. And how do we do that? Is by bringing value to the table, discussing it from the business angle, making a business case for agility, for psychological safety, where people can thrive, where they can stay, where they can say in the organization without fear of retribution. If you can do all of those things, then HR can nurture and foster an environment of psychological safety, within the organization. Work closely with other functional leaders. Don't just take ownership as HR. Present it as a business case for the business, and all will be well. Thank you very much. I hope I'm able to answer that question.
Absolutely, I believe so. And please note that this section actually went above its capacity of 100. So we understand that a whole lot of people also attended via YouTube. The chairman of Lab Chapter has approved that we could share the presentation only if we can confirm that you attended this training and that you are not just AI present here. So we have shared the attendance link. You just have to click on it and fill your details so we can have them and be able to forward the presentation to you. You indeed need this training. Thank you, Young. I saw that in a twinkle of an eye, you just quickly captured the have: humility, authenticity, vulnerability, and empathy. Thank you. I didn't get that completely before, but now, because of you, I can save it. Thank you very much. So without any further ado, we'll assume that other questions will be reserved when you get the presentation and you are able to address them on your own as an expert human resources practitioner. So
and they can reach out to me through my contacts on the screen. If they have other questions, I'm always available on various platforms.
Thank you very much. So you have the contact. We can equally make that available, but people like Inyong already have taken snapshot of this contact already. I know, So there's one hands up. I don't know, Chairman, do you approve that we can take additional question? Madam Thomas, please, do you approve that we can take this one more question, or we'll just go?
Let's just take this one more, because honestly, this has been really an insightful session. So let's at least take this one last question. Thank you.
Absolutely. Oyeyemi, please, could you unmute yourself and ask your question? Thank you. Make it as brief as possible, please. Oh, I think we lost that. So we would proceed. And let's immediately call. Apologies. Please, sir, could you kindly unshare your screen so we can continue with our program flow, sir?
That's been done since. That's been done. Yeah.
Please confirm that you can see my screen.
We see it.
Fantastic. So please, let's immediately call on the treasurer, our beautiful treasurer, to kindly do us the honors of appreciating the facilitator. Sean. Okay, if in the absence of Bingpe, can we call Madam Bingpe to kindly help us appreciate the facilitator?
Okay, good afternoon. Okay.
Please go ahead,
Sorry,
Sean.
thank you. Good afternoon. I would really say that this month of April is full because what a way to start the new month. Thank you so much, ECM Triple A, for a well-delivered section. Despite the time constraint, you ensured the section was impactful, was engaging, and highly informative. Everyone had something to say about it. And on behalf of Lekki Ajabadore chapter, the lab chapter, we truly appreciate your professionalism and the ability to effectively manage the limited time that we've given you, because this is a professional course and you're able to deliver, and nobody on this call would say, I did not do anything. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate you for the great value that you have delivered to every one of us as participants. And we are sure that anytime we call you again, even though we know that you're always fully booked, out of that time, you will find little time for us as we are your babies. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Always.
In recognition of the invaluable contribution as a guest speaker at the Lekki Ajabadore chapter's monthly knowledge sharing section and the Agile Workforce Blueprint, we say thank you, sir. That is held today, April 1st, 2026. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks
Indeed.
for
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Thank you. Juggernaut, this is your certificate. Only God knows how many you have in your box now, you know. But we still hope that someday, even this year, by the grace of God, we should be able to call you back, and so that you can do more. You can give us more that you have in your coffers. Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So I would like to call on our state representation, Madam Vivian Adekaku, to please. Oh, okay. Please let me just quickly go back. Our vendor, the one that has sponsored this event and made it the way it is, and made it as successful as this, and have also given us the opportunity to have some trainings that are each value about 100,000 naira. In fact, so far, by knowing them alone this year, we have been able to gather something up to about 1.5 million. So we are really very happy to have them. We'll kindly request that they make their pitch and tell us exactly what they have, you know, and hope that we'll continue to partner with them in the future. So I would like to yield now. I expect that, please let me know if I should take up my presentation so you can put yours up immediately. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Peter. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Yes.
well, you can. All right, thank you so much. You can leave your slide up because I do not have slides. I really want to thank every one of you, the CIPM Lab chapter, for having us here, and of course, specifically the chairman of the Lab chapter. And I also want to say thank you to the speaker for that very, very informative and very insightful pitch or speech. That is something that our organization here at Certification Edge, we are preaching every day. And I think that he has just gone ahead to make my pitch very easy, because I was also going to talk about, the need for organizations to stay relevant in today's world, because everyone on this call today would agree with me that the world today is changing very rapidly. You need to stay updated with knowledge. What you know yesterday may no longer be relevant today. So you need to be catching up, right? And he also spoke about organizations not just surviving, because I think that's what a lot of organizations are trying to do these days, right? They just want to survive, but we have to thrive, right? And how can we thrive? He spoke about those things. He said we can thrive when we have the right skills, when we have the right mindset, and when we have the right culture. And all of these things can only happen when we have the right knowledge, because you and I know that the world today is currently in an information era. So knowledge is what is needed to actually drive performance in organizations, right? And I also love how he spoke about organizations having to compete globally, because whether or not you want to compete globally is no longer a choice. It is now a necessity. Your competitors are competing globally. Your clients, your partners, even your talents that you have in your organization, they want to compete globally. Nobody wants to stay local anymore. And that is where we come in at Certification Edge. That is the core of what we do. We help organizations, we help professionals to build capacity that help them to become globally competitive powerhouses, right? And I love how the speaker spoke about loving learning and having time management skills, project management skills, and emotional intelligence skills, analytical thinking skills, right? Those, and that is also the core of what we do, because we provide globally recognized certifications that moves you from just being a trained professional to somebody who stays relevant in today's marketplace and in today's world, right? Our certifications focus on human resource, and in human resource we have partnered with the HRCI body, that's the Human Resource Certification Institute, and as well as the SHRM body, that's the Society for Human Resource Management. Then we also have our certifications in project management, and our project management certifications are in partnership with PMI, that's the Project Management Institute. Then we also have certifications in business analysis as well. And our business analysis certifications are in partnership with the IIBA. And then we also have certification under Agile. And we have the professional Scrum Master certifications. And beyond that as well, the speaker also spoke about leadership and management, right? He said that if organizations do not have the right managerial skills, right leadership skills, they cannot thrive. They cannot move from just surviving to thriving, right? And like we have all established, the only reason why an organization will thrive is when the people have the necessary skills, the required skills, they have the right knowledge. And that is also where Certification Edge comes in as well, because we provide senior leadership trainings for leaders at all levels, management trainings, and of course, we train people across board in every area of your team. So depending on your needs, we're committed to excellence. We've been here for over 20 years. We are Nigeria's leading capacity building training institute. And also we do globally recognized certifications as well. So yes, that would be it for me. I really do not want to take all of our time. Thank you so much once again for having me on this call today.
Thank you, Neka. Thank you very much, Neka. And Neka, you didn't say how we're going to reach out to you. You have sponsored this program. You are also going to bear the cost of 10 people who are lucky winners of your certification training.
Yes, that is very correct. And thank you so much for bringing that up. And also for people who have their active CIPM membership, that is aside the 10 lucky people who are going to receive the sponsorship from Certification Edge, people who have their active CIPM membership, they can access a good discount up to 50% for their global certification registrations after now. I am going to leave a number in the chat box, so you can reach out to that person. She's going to walk you through, she's going to give you all of the guidance that you need to move on. And I hope to, see everyone moving on to greater heights and helping our organizations, not just to survive, but to thrive. Thank you once again. I'll put the number in the chat box now.
Thank you very much, Neka. Thank you. Thank you very much. So now we're going to request our biggest cheerleader at the state level, Madam Adekanko, to please take us through Know Your Institutes. Madam Adekanko. Madam Vivian, if you are here, please unmute yourself. VC. Madam Vivian, if you are here, please unmute yourself. Please confirm that you can hear me, please.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. VC, Madam Adekanko is not here. I would like to make a change, if you permit.
Okay.
Okay. So the AGS, could you help us with this? Madam Bingpe.
Yes, Mr. Peter. Good afternoon. I'm here.
Fantastic. Please kindly help us with Know Your Institution. And you could focus on the lab chapter, and the VC will do the rest during the announcement. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Peter, and well done. Good afternoon, fellow professionals, all protocols duly observed. I want to quickly tell us about our chapter. So about CIPM Lekki Ajabadori, the lab chapter is one of the 12 chapters under the Lagos State branch. The chapter was established in 2013 and inaugurated in 2014. Hello, can everyone hear me?
We can hear you. Go on, ma'am.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So the chapters in Lagos State were established in order to ensure the national body connects with the grassroots at the chapter level. Members based in the same vicinity can connect with one another. So the vision in this chapter is to provide critical HR solutions to our members via various learning sessions and online interactions, just like the one we're having now. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for doing us that honors. So I will
You're
kindly
welcome.
just request the Vice Chairman, Lab Chapter, FCIPM, Madam Bukola Thomas, to please help us with the announcements. Madam.
Thank you. And once again, good afternoon. I do not want to stand in the way of you and lunch, but we'll just take very quick announcements. I will stand on all existing protocols. And of course, I still want to say a very big thank you to our ECM fellow and my own good friend, and I call him Sir Ajayi, and also Dr. Michael as well. Thank you so much for a truly enlightening session. Just quick announcements. We want to really appreciate all members of Lab Chapter who attended our Lagos branch CIPM conference. We did have a good turnout. I believe we were close to 30 that attended the state conference, which was very successful as well. And we're hoping that, as we go into the year, we would start to see everyone register for the international conference and exhibition, which is going to be holding again in Abuja, with the theme repositioning for value and impact. And based on our session today, definitely we really want to be able to reposition as HR professionals, the value that we're bringing to the organization and the impact that that value is going to give. So put your calendars in order, 21st to 24th September. Please note that it's September, because a few people have been saying, oh, it's usually in October, but this year it's 21st to 24th of September. And so we ask that you start to register, of course, and take advantage of early bird registrations as well. We also want to appreciate members who showed up for last month's AGM and election. And we really want to encourage everyone to truly participate in the Institute's activities. We're happy that we have new members who have joined Lab Chapter. And we're hoping that, we'll see more people joining, as the months progress. One of the key things and benefits of joining Lab Chapter specifically is this kind of sessions, because we ensure that we curate events, initiatives, trainings that truly, truly add value to you as professionals. We also want to remind you that we have our May KSS coming up. And so just look out for the flyers, look out for the links, because it truly also promises to be a very, very, very impactful and great session as well. I don't want to forget to mention that for those who haven't paid their dues, please pay up promptly, so that we are also able to drive more initiatives. One of such initiatives is some of the things that we're organizing to support the poor. We have some CSR plans ahead. And of course, sessions like this are also, on the radar for us. Lastly, I would also want to say very big thank you to our participants at the just concluded CIPM Lagos branch quiz competition. And I must announce with drum roll that Lab Chapter came third nationwide, and we want to acknowledge Chinaza Oyibo and Christopher Oradiego, who participated, represented Lab Chapter, and in fact, we really won. But we just allowed those two other people to just manage out of fair play. But thank you so much. We're very grateful for your participation, and we encourage everyone to please do more in the chapter. It's for you, it's for me. We're building each other, and collaboratively, we will conquer this VUCAD and Bani. All of them, we're going to do it together. So thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone and more people. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Bukola Thomas, FCIPM. And in front of us are the people who celebrated birthday in the month of March. So we didn't really. Okay, who are celebrating birthday in the month of April? Sorry. So you know yourself, will be sending posters to this effect. So without any further ado, we would like to request Chima, ACIPM, the Financial Secretary, to kindly just give us a brief update on the finances of Lekki Gardens, or to just tell us other things that might be useful for our new members and for the whole member in totality. Thank you. Chima, if you are available, please help us with this.
I'm standing on existing protocol. Chima is not available at the moment. I'm Sheung Adedoye, the treasurer, and I'll be doing the honor of taking the membership requirements. To be recognized as a member of the Lekki Ajabadore chapter, the following are required of us. Registration with and payment of annual dues to the national body. Also, you register and make payment with annual dues up to the chapter, which is our chapter, and our dues is 10,000 naira per annum. Our account details, Access Bank, Lab PPC, and the account number is 00 400 65 279. 00-400-65-279. To become a bona fide member of Lekki Ajabadori chapter, you are expected to attend minimum of 4 learning sections in a year. For everyone on this call, if today is your very first time, you have done 1, you have 3 more to go. And we know that you are in the best chapter you can ever think of. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you for doing us that honors. Without any, there is no any other business. It's just that Sean has already mentioned that every first Wednesday of every month we have our KSS, and we have also the opportunity to have 3 physical KSS within the year. Those will be, you will be notified in due course once we have arranged them. So we'd like to request the official mail to if the chairman is available now, he can kindly do us the closing remark. If not, Madam Bukola, please, would you help us with the closing remark before we ask for adjournment of this meeting?
Okay. Once again, we want to thank every single person who has joined the session, from our facilitator who did a brilliant job, Sir Ajayi, and Dr. Michael as well. Thank you so much for answering the questions and providing even additional insights. We truly appreciate you. We thank everyone who has joined, our fellows who have joined, the ex-officials, everyone who has participated, our members, both members of the chapter and members that we are bringing into the chapters, because once you're on this call, you're becoming a member already. We thank you for participating, for being such an active audience as well. And yes, we truly are looking forward to those slides. I was taking notes as we were going on, and of course, NEPA has struck my building. But I'm sure you can still see me. Yes, so we're very grateful to everyone. So our GS, thank you so much for anchoring the session. And we're looking forward to May already. If April is like this, then we know that May is definitely going to be another fire-packed session. So thank you, everyone. Looking forward to good rest over the next couple of days. So please do enjoy the Easter holiday, and stay safe and stay well. Thank you so much.
So the chairman will kindly help us endorse Madam Bukola's statement. Chairman
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. It's truly amazing to have every one of us on the call, despite our busy schedule. Again, I want to especially appreciate our elected council member, Adeyemi Ajayi, FCIPM. Thank you so much for always reaching out, for always checking on, and for always making yourself available. And of course, my other ECM on the call, Dr. Michael. So very soon we'll drag you to LAMSA. We are bringing you to lab. So as we wrap up the session, I would like everybody to put on their video. We'll be taking a group photograph. I believe the secretariat will help us do that. Please, let's see your beautiful faces. Valentine, I can see you. You're chilling. Oh. I can see your hands. I can see. All right, everyone. You don't need to unmute your mic if you don't want to, but please show us your beautiful faces. We want to see everybody's face as we take a group photograph. So, oh, thank you. Please, we also have on the call the chairman for CIPM Lagos Mainland, in person of Mr. Emmanuel Leramo, MCIPM. Thank you so much for joining the session, sir. We are super excited to have you on the call. All right, can we all put our videos on? We want to see everybody's face, and we'll take a group photograph so that we can have your faces, your fine faces,
You may have to stop sharing so you can get everybody's face.
Okay, ma.
Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you, Uche. Please help us stop sharing. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Jumake, we can see you. You're looking good. Mr. Sunday, we can see Jumake. You think I'm not seeing you from here? I'm seeing you. Your skin is caring. I can see that. Yanolu, I can see you on blue. Chelsea fan. All right, please let's take the photograph, Mr. Peter. Let me know when you are
Chair, please, is Manchester United for life.
Sorry, I'm not taking here. Chair, could you help with that, please?
Oh,
I have it.
Sorry, just a minute. Let me see if I can do it.
Okay.
Just a minute. Let's see. Okay, is everybody's video on now? All right. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Yes, I believe we can say the closing anthem now.
Okay. Please, the ex-official mail is supposed to adjourn. Hold on, please. The ex-official mail, believe ACIPM. Could you kindly help us move a motion for the adjournment of this meeting?
Thank you, Dr. Peter, and it's a privilege. My name is Believe Aidu. I'm going to move the motion to adjourn the KSS meeting to May section to be held 6th of May 2026. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Vivian, our representation at the state level, I can see you. I don't know why the voice is not coming up, but if you have anything to say, someone actually took that part. And,
Okay.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me turn on my video. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, my chairman. Good afternoon. I don't know if we have the ECMs still on the call. I can't really see that yet. If we have any leadership, and I hear that we have some chapter chairpersons on the call. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, the chairman and ESCOs of Lab Chapter for having this very insightful session. I came in while ECM Ajayi FCIPM was having a section, and it was really, really mind-blowing. I'm sure that all of us took a lot of nuggets from it, and we're going to start implementing it in our different workplaces. Thank you very much for having me, and have a lovely afternoon, and Happy New Month, everyone.
Thank you very much, Vivian. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we'll be saying the closing prayer, which is the second stanza of the national item. Please note that this meeting is expected to end at 1:45. So we have just 2 minutes to sing this item to make it a perfect match to our plan. Thank you very much. So please unmute yourself. Let's go through this. Closing prayer together. Okay, can you hear me, please?
Yes, very well.
Okay, please, the people who know this item very well, please let us lead the item. And on the count of 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
No
try
try
and
and turn
Deliver
in
in
broad
in
daylight.
order we stand. Nigeria's always how to serve.
Our
Our
sovereign
sovereign
motherland. Hip, hip, hip.
Our
Hooray.
flag shall be a symbol
but that
that
truth
and
and
justice
justice
reign
in
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 peace
peace
and
of
to
Honor.
honor.
and
And
this will
this comes
come.
as to
And
those
to our
our children
Children,
Abana
Abana without
without
Hip,
stain.
hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hooray. Thank you very much. Thank you all. May God bless you and have a blessed April month. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. And
Thank
happy new
you.
month.
Thank you, everyone.
Happy New
Nice day.
Month.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Gina-san. Hi,
Shell,
Mama.
Shell,
Ma.
nice to see you up and about. Please stay like that.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
Your face is
you.
shining.
That's so shine now. We don't
Valentine, your
appreciate you
face
for
is
last
shining.
month.
We have to do the
Are
best
you
we
sure?
can.
Are you sure you're in the office? Are
I'm,
you at the
I'm
office or
working.
you're on leave?
With that chair
Interestingly, I don't
behind
even
her,
have
she's in the office.
updates.
Are you sure you're in the office or a five-star hotel?
No,
I'm doing
office.
the best
Oh,
I can.
Mom, not believe. Princess.
So, my
Oh,
chairman,
thank you,
Mr.
Shell. Thank you
Oluwapanimi, I
so
sent you the
much.
pictures on
You're
LinkedIn.
welcome.
You said?
I sent you the
Okay.
pictures on LinkedIn, the
Okay,
ones I
thank you.
screenshotted from my
Oh,
laptop.
Oh, thank you.
oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I'll check now. I'll check now.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a good Easter.
Yeah.
Chair, we can stop recording now so we can conserve the space.